Namaste, everyone present here. Today we are continuing the introduction to IKS series. In the last two lectures, we have discussed what is the meaning of Indian knowledge systems. What do we understand by Indian knowledge and system? These three terms. In the second lecture, we have discussed the knowledge classification framework. As I have already said, there are lots of framework of knowledge classification, and the prominent one we have discussed in the last class is the Chaturdash Vidyāsthānas and Ashtadash Vidyāsthānas, that is 14 or 18 core disciplines of IKS. Now we will move to the another concept, which is Shastra. This you could see is as also a framework of knowledge classification, but since it is mentioned as a topic in the UGC NET syllabus of IKS Unit 1, we will discuss it separately. The source of knowledge which I am referring to is Kavya Mīmānsa. So let's proceed. So we have if you have read something about Sanskrit and I guess you have listened the word Kavya Shastra, Dharma Shastra, etc. So what are these Shastra? You could say the Shastra at each of the terms like Kavya Shastra, Dharma Shastra, etc. So the Shastra, in loose sense, what we understand now, we understand that Shastra is one which have just like literature, we have a literature text, and then the poetics will be called Shastra, isn't it? So similar things are there. Let's go deeper into it. So so what the Kavya Mīmānsa the Rajsekhar mentions in the chapter 2 of Shastra Nirdesh, he says that the Sampurna Vangmay, that is Sampurna knowledge of is of two types. One is Shastra and another one is Kavya. So he have divided the whole knowledge into two, Shastram, Kavyam, Cha. Then he says Shastram Dvidha, Aparushayam, Parushayam Cha. It means the Shastra is again of two, Aparushe or Parushe. If I hope you know the meaning of term Parushe. Parushe means created by the person, and Aparushe means the knowledge which is not created by the person, but it may be the person may be seer of that knowledge. So as you all know, in tradition, in parampara, the Veda is said to be aparushe. It means there is no any creator of that knowledge. You could also imagine this as we don't know the creator of that knowledge. The seers, what we see is the seers of those knowledge which are referred as rishis. So Ved is aparusheya. It means there is no creator of the knowledge, but there are rishis who are seers of that knowledge. Okay, they are called aparusheya. Okay, then the second one is, as here says also, aparusheyam srutihi. It means Shruti. Shruti is another name, synonym of Veda. So Veda is aparusheya. Again, as already said, that the Ved has are of four in number: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samveda, Atharveda. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharvaveda. And again, these each Ved is divided into Samhita, then Brahman, Aranyak, and Upanishad. So each Ved is divided into Samhita, Brahman, Aranyak, and Upanishad. Among those four, the first one, that is Samhita, is also called as mantra because they consist of hymns, mantras only. So Samhita is mantras. And generally, the other three, the Brahman, Aryanyak, and the Upanishad, these three are referred as Brahman. Okay, so there is a common name Brahman, which means all these three, and there is also a specific Brahman in it. Got it? So Shruti Punaha Dvividha Mantraha Brahmanam Cha. Got it? Mantra is the Samhita part of the each Vedas, and the Brahmanam is a common name referred to the three Brahman, Aranyak, and Upanishad. Okay, so this was the all Paurushayam or Paurushayam text. Now there Shastra is again of Paurushe also. So who are the Paurushe? Paurushe means which is created by the person. So they are the Puran, Anvikshiki, Mimamsa, Smriti Tantram. So you have also seen this in the Upangas. You could, I think you could, if you could remember, there was Mimamsa, Nyaya, Puran, and Dharma Shastra. So you could see Mimamsa. Mimamsa here means Shruti Pradhan Astik Darshan. There are two, Uttar Mimamsa and Pur Mimamsa. As I said earlier, the Uttar Mimamsa is called Vedanta. So here the Anvikshiki is written here instead of the Nyaya. So there are certain differences, but here the meaning is the same. That the all the darsanas which are astic in nature and tark pradhan, they are called anvikshiki. So it consists of sankhya, yog, nyaya, and vaisheshik. Okay, so it means it is a tark pradhan astic darshan. And there is Puran. As I said, Puran is again here the common term which consists of two, Itihas and Purana. And here the Smriti Tantram. It is also a synonym of Dharma Shastra. So here the Mimamsa, Anvikshiki, Puran, and then the Dharma Shastra or Smriti. So therefore are called Paurushayam. Iti Chatvari Shastrani. Astu. So Evam Asit. So these were the descriptions which is given in the Kaima Mimamsa of Rajsekha in the chapter 2. Now let's understand what our present understanding is about the Shastra. Shastra is derived from the Sāsane dhatu, and it has two meaning as the scholars suggest. One is to describe and one is to rule. So suppose there is a text of poetics, suppose Kavya Prakash. It mentions about what is Kavya, what is the different powers of words, and then it goes around the Alankara, Chanda, and all those descriptions. Suppose there it is given in a text. So what this means, that if you are reading a particular literature, you could describe the particular literature according to the, if you are reading the Meghduttam, you could understand and describe each of the point of that literature using this Kavya Mimamsa or Kavya Prakash. And also this means that if you are writing up a new text, a new literature, new Kavya, then it means you could also use these as a rule. So I think it is a synonymous. No? It means that both are uh, implying to each other. So a particular Shastra have a two roles to perform. One is to describe and one is to rule. So suppose there is a Shastra, Kavya Shastra. So Kavya Shastra will, what it will do? It will describe a particular Kavya and also help in the help you. It will gives you rules to write a particular type of Kavya. So this is called Shastra. Uh, Another, there is a debate which I am here just referring to. Shastra, many people of our view that Shastra is all primarily oral in nature, whereas when we see sociology, philosophy, they are primarily written in nature. But these are just correlations. There are no any scientific claims, I could say. Now, the second discussion, which is quite famous, is of Lok and Shastra, how the Lok and Shastra complements each other. So there is also a debate which is superior and how which communicates. A famous discussion is also in the Patanjali's Mahabhashya. So, living apart, it was just here to mention you the different aspects when we study a Shastra, when we are discussing the concept of Shastra. But here, the important is that Shastra is the group of text which are used to describe or define rules for a certain domain. So there is a Kavya, there will be Kavya Shastra. There is Dharma, so there will be Dharma Shastra. Okay? So there will be Arth, so there will be Arth Shastra, which will describe the in statecraft, the nature of it, what should be rules, and all those things. So it will also describe and also suggest some rules. Now, just I'm combining all those things and just putting as a Shastra as a framework. I've also said that Shastra could be looked as a framework as per the Kavya Mimamsa. So you could see here the Vangmay, that is complete knowledge base, is divided into two, Shastra and the Kavya. The Shastra is Apaurushaya, which is Shruti, as I have discussed, and then the Paurushaya. The the Paurushayam contains the Puran, Anvik Chiki, Mimamsa, and Smriti Tantra. Okay, and then when we look at the Kavya, it is of Drishya and Sravya. Drishya has these Rupaks of 10 in number, then Uprupak also. Then here is the Sravya do have that further divisions like Mahakavya, Khandakavya, etc. There are lots of divisions in it. We will not get here. So this is Shastra. The idea of Shastra, in the syllabus, what we have to just remember is the idea of Shastra. When we say Artha Shastra, what do we mean by it? When we say Kavya Shastra, what do we mean by it? So this is the very idea of the Shastra that you have to remember. Either Shastra is a text that describes the particular domain or that prescribes rules for that particular domain. For example, if there is a Kavya Shastra text, just like Kavya Prakash, the Kavya Prakash will describe what is the nature of Kavya, there are different types of it, all those things will be discussed there. And in a and the implication is that if a new person is writing it, a new Kavya, he will try to adhere to that rules. And if a reader is reading a particular Kavya, he will use those rules descriptions to analyze a particular Kavya and understand a particular Kavya. So this is the game of Shastra. So this was the brief discussion on Shastra. I request you to write at least 10 Shastra terms that you have read or listened anywhere, and just look at it. Just look at it what it describes and how it rules. So in these two parameters, I hope this video is informative since I am very initial stages. I'm trying to improve my language and the style of conversation. Do support me by sharing and commenting and liking our content. Thanks. Pranamami.